Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
This isn't about printing. It's about better results with over 90 offices right across the country in residential, commercial and rural.
Kina tangata whenua and manahiri ko tai mai nei I tēnei rā. To the people of the land and the visitors who are gathered here today, no mai piki mai, tēnā koutou katoa. Welcome back to Owen Delany Park in beautiful Taupo, Aotearoa, New Zealand for another round of New Zealand Ultimate Secondary Schools Championships. And we've got a game before us in the women's division. We have Takapuna Grammar in the yellow, playing against Hutt Valley Girls. And this will be an interesting mix. Hutt Valley Girls last year were our reigning champions, but they also came first for the Spirit Award, which we'll discuss a little bit later. But there have been big changes for the Hutt Valley program since then. Last year they had a core group, a big group of Year 13 women who were playing, who'd played together for a wee while, and they'd but of course this year they've moved on. So we're looking at a team sheet where, apart from the captain, Holly Dungy, who's Year 12 and in her third year of experience in the Hutt Valley Girls program, all the rest of the players are Year 10. So that'll be interesting. We've got Emma Doyle, who's the coach, and Eva Langridge is her assistant, and we've had Mike Sheridan, who's you may have heard commentating on one of the earlier games. He helps oversees their program, an ex-New Zealand player and a wealth of experience. But Hutt Valley seem to still be a very well-drilled team, but they're young. But this game will be great experience for them. Cormac Stevenson aho, and I'm joined here this afternoon for the play-by-play analysis by Z Island. Kia ora, Z.
Kia ora koutou, ko Zaria toku ingoa, no Tamaki Makaurau aho, joining you in lovely Taupo from Auckland, but lovely to be here. You said a lot about Hutt Valley and the experience they have, especially through their coaches. But we've also got a lot of experience coming through in the Takapuna grammar girls who are in the yellow there. We've got players like Briar Carter and Emily McNamara who we've seen competing out of the championships. With McNamara also recently competed in the New Zealand Ultimate Championships with the Club Misfits from Auckland. So they've got a few old hands, if you can call them, on board. Bit of experience. They're still quite a young team, but looking for them to go pretty far in this tournament. They came second in the Auckland Champs that were a couple of weeks ago, so definitely a strong side. So I think this will be a very exciting matchup, Mark. Yeah, for sure. Azzy, just before we get closer to the first kume or pull to start off the game, I'd like to come back to that Spirit Award, because Spirit is a unique in sports. It's a unique part in Ultimate, in the spirit of the game. And that's, sure, we want to play hard and we keep the score and someone will win at the end. But at the end of every game, each team gets in a circle and they assign an MVP, most valuable player, to the other team, but also a most spirited player
because that's important, and the value system of Ultimate, this is what makes it so attractive as a parent, as a teacher in a school. But tell us a bit more about Spirit, Te Wairua of the game, the Spirit.
Yeah, so Spirit of the game is an integral part of the sport, and it's actually founded upon like this idea of sportsmanship and mutual respect with your opponents. Ultimate Frisbee is a self-officiated sport, which means there's no referees, and that goes through from the lowest level up to the highest level internationally. You'd see no referees, even at World Championship games. Players on field make calls themselves. They discuss the call with their fellow player, whoever they're with, and they then come to a consensus whether they agree, which is a uncontested call, or disagree, which is contested. And they just make those calls within the fair play of the game, and in the interest of, having a good game, and in the interest of not cheating. So it's really cool to see that teams coming with a great level of fair-mindedness and positive attitude, and having a good knowledge of the rules to facilitate these discussions on field. And the Spirit Award reflects this, and even at the highest level, we've seen New Zealand come away with a few Spirit medals. Even I think both New Zealand teams came away with the award, and the Spirit Award in the New Zealand the World Under-20 Championships.
Yeah, it's and it's great to see, and why so popular. So we've had our first Kumea pull, and
that's Glendale there, just looking down the line for Phillip, who's on the disc. Great reception there from Bull. Looks down the line, can't quite connect, but it's early days in the game, and I'm sure they'll iron out those little wrinkles in their offence.
Hutt Valley are playing from right to left in the black, I believe.
Left to right.
Oh, sorry, left to right.
Carter on the disc, looking for options. Opts for the inside out, across the stack. Isla Sweetman. She's got a big mark on her.
And take a grammar in the yellow.
McNamara
Takapuna
with her lovely unicorn hat on. Lefty thrower looks across the stack with an easy pass to Jada Surikaya. Great score there from Takapuna. I think a common theme we've actually seen across the day is with the wind has been a bit of upwind, downwind. Scoring downwind is a lot easier because pushes the disc down, it goes quite quick, but throwing upwind, you often see the disc get taken by the wind, become really hard to throw in those conditions. Most of the scoring we've seen throughout the day is downwind throws. What a beautiful shot there by McNamara. Easy find. Phillip there just had no chance on the defence.
So at the moment, Takapuna lead Hutt Valley 1-0. If we, as we look at the field now at the moment, the wind is relatively strong from right to left. So you'll find that the fuse, the throws from left to right may be shorter and a little bit more unstable.
Big pull coming up from Carter. Travels well, fades a little bit. Out of bounds slightly. Hutt Valley opting to take that from the sideline. Big fakes. Holly Dungy on the disc finds a swing to Turner. Just can't quite hold on to it.
And we found with the teams that have already played today that it takes just a little time to adjust to this wind. Those that have already played games on the other fields that aren't being live streamed, they tend to be playing in the other direction.
Yeah, for sure. So this field is actually oriented differently. Other fields around the complex are structured perpendicularly, so players are actually throwing with a crosswind, which actually helps the disc hold up much more in the air. Great look down the line there from Carter. High release flick, blading over, and a great reception there from the number 4, Isla Sweetman. Just can't quite connect, but close for an upwind score there for Takapuna.
If we have a look there with the disc, there's 2 handlers up at that end of the field, and I think they're running a vertical stack, which we've seen a lot of today, which is the which is the two kaikoriri or handlers starting at the top. The rest of the team lines up in the middle of the field. And then once disc is in and play starts, you'll see some cuts quite often coming from the front of that stack or the back of the stack, trying to lose their defensive player and get free for an easier pass.
Swing over the top there, just goes past the hands. Takapuna now on defense. Just through the hands of McNamara, can't quite hold on to it. Holly Dungy won the disc now. Nice reset cut. Turner can't quite hold on to it. But it's nice seeing the structure that both of these teams running. Obviously, there's a width of experience in their coaching staff. Carter connects with Jada. Sarkaya. Isla Sweetman now. Flow is looking good, a little bit stagnant now.
Nice view. Nice
upline strike cut from Carter. Advances it quickly upfield. And that's an upwind score for Takapuna, putting them up 2-0. You can just see that wealth of experience coming from players like Briar Carter and McNamara downfield, having just played a couple extra years and being able to run their offense. They've played together themselves a few times, so seeing those connections. Great find from Crichton to Sarkaya.
Last minute advice and organisation of both teams at both ends of the field.
Hutt Valley looking to go upwind now. It's a tough direction to go in. We'll see how well they handle it. Takapuna.
With the kume?
With a downwind kume. Should travel quite well. From a thrower like Carter, we should see it travel. Yeah, beautiful pull goes up. Nice inside out. And caught.
Z, a good pull. Ideally, you want to get it down the other end of the field and chase up there on defence as much as you can.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So a kume that's
big put by Carter, looking deep for McNamara.
So a kume that's going to hang in the air would be an advantage, and as long as it doesn't go
out. So if the pull goes out of bounds, the offensive team has a chance to brick the pull, which basically signaled by putting a hand up in the air. You can see on screen there's a blue X downfield. So there, if the pull goes out of bounds, they have the chance to bring the pull in there. Just a slight missed throw there, touchdown by number 15 on the Takapuna side, Thorn. And a nice around break from Carter to Madsen Bruff. Nice easy score. Takapuna just taking control of the game here, extending a nice early lead.
Takapuna ke mua mā te kōtoru. Up by 3, lead by 3.
Yeah, so what you were saying about the pull, when the pull goes up, a nice floaty pull to the back of the end zone, if it stays in bounds, you have to take the pull from the back of the end zone. Gives a chance for your defense to run down, put some pressure on early. Put on some arai pehi, some defensive pressure, and generate a turn early and close to your end zone, like we saw there. Takapuna able to just easily convert.
Takapuna will now be pulling into the wind and chasing. It'll be interesting to see the difference, because from the pull from the other end, virtually went full field, didn't it? Down to the goal line.
Yeah, that's the advantage of throwing downwind, Mark. The wind just carries the disc further. Upwind, you have to have a harder edge. As you can see, the nose of the disc just goes up a bit, but a nice pull from Carter just carries it out of bounds again. Hutt Valley looking to take that from the sideline rather than bricking the pull.
And that's their choice, isn't it? So
100%.
So they could take it from the X, which is further down the field, but certainly to their advantage to take it closer up
Nice
to the
swing across the field.
the line they're trying to reach. It is a big up.
Hutt goes up, but well read by Carter. Takes it down easily.
Guys, not being beat under test, not under test. We got that in front of him. Yes, Casey, in front of her, Casey. Get in front of her, Rosie. Yes, Rosie, keep going.
Nice swing across the stack, just through the hands of Carter. Can't quite hold on to it. Bright with a great find. The field oar goes up. The Hutt goes up. Can't quite find Channa. It was a great look. She was in great position. Carter now back on the disc. We see Hutt Valley with a reasonably flat force. Forcing Mamua, forcing forehand.
Oh, and a nice hand block.
And an easy score for Hutt Valley on the board. Glendale finds that player in the end zone. Rosie Dungy, I believe. Yeah, Hutt Valley ironing out the little kinks in their game so far and finding a pretty easy score to put them on the board. Nice hand block there on Emmy Bright.
And a quick transition straight onto offense before really the other team has got time to set up defense and match up with their players.
Absolutely. We often call that a fast break in Frisbee. When you manage to get a turn defensively and you just pick up the disc and go, the defense just can't catch up, and often results in you'd hope it results in a nice easy score, of course.
Yep. Well, and because of that transition is that most of the rest of the team is further down the field. So it's moving or back behind the disc with that that transition from defense to offense.
Turner with the disc. Takapuna now coming downwind on offense.
Hands are up from both teams to say we're ready.
Nice pull goes up. Bit of an IO edge, inside out edge, which just carries it out of bound. Especially in the wind. Something you'll find is with a frisbee, whatever angle you put on the disc, the disc tends to hold that angle and follow it. So in the wind, it just exacerbates that. Nice throw downfield, great find. Madsen Bruff. Deed in the end zone while she's looking for McNamara. Fiodoa goes up, Hutt goes up, but just turns over in the wind. Can't quite find the player who is streaking deep. Now the Fiodoa goes up, looking for McNamara, but easily D'd by Turner. Just great positioning there. Active mark there from McNamara. Forcing forehand, forcing Mamua. Finds a receiver in Phillip. Swings again. Finds Dungy. Nice pop pass. Great flow getting generated here from Hutt Valley side. Looking long. No one really cutting there. Madsen Bruff just gets in the way. Puts up a Fiodoa. And finding Jada Sarakaya. Right on the end zone line now. A bit of stagnance, but jammed in the jam hole, and Madsen Bruff catches that for another Takapuna score.
It was really good patience waiting for that, because the stall count would have got 10. We've got a stall count of 10 seconds that the defence is counting right in front of you, and she's looking for options. There's good defence on the other players, and she's just waiting for that option.
Yeah, way to stay patient there from Sarakaya. Looks like there might have been a little bit of a marking infraction, maybe a fast count called. In Ultimate Frisbee, when you still counting on the mark, 10 seconds have to be 10 seconds. The thrower has the liberty to call fast count, whereby the marker has to drop the stall count by 2. So if I said stalling 5 and you called fast count on me, Mark, I'd have to drop to stalling 4, I believe, because the stalling part counts as its own second as well.
Yep.
Takapuna with the score now. The kume now. Hutt Valley to come down on offense downwind. McNamara with the disc. Nice lefty pull goes up, turns over a little, makes it halfway and rolls out. Great pull in upwind conditions. And because it bounced in and rolled out, Hutt Valley have to take it from the sideline. Fiordoa goes up, great huck.
That was a nice
looking for Lucy
few.
Hoffman in the end zone. What a throw there.
When that few went up, it just hung and it just balanced, giving that receiver time to read it, to adjust to it, and they had plenty of space.
Yeah, absolutely. A great throw in downwind conditions. You often see the disc come out a bit like a laser and just zip through the air. But what a throw there. Well read there by Hoffman. Yeah, Glendale with the put. What a beautiful disc. Two hands, nice and safe. Hoffman brings it down. Another tapeki on the board for Hutt Valley. Coach there just giving Takapuna some advice.
So Takapuna ke Muama Te Rua up by 2 over Hutt Valley. A lot of support during the play from the sidelines if we're coming back to spirit, because that counts, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
When the teams will decide at the end, they'll actually evaluate how the other team supported, how they spoke amongst themselves, not necessarily in between teams. It's a good judge of character.
Oh yeah, 100%. One of the things that are judged is positive attitude and self-control. Breyer puts up a great hug. Looks
nice.
Finding Emily McNamara in the end zone. What a take.
To have that awareness, not only go for the catch, but also just be aware of where her feet are. She was very close to that line. Of course, if she was touching the line.
Yeah, if she was touching the line, that means the disc is not in. It's called a straddle. That high release huck there from Carter. And excellent work there by McNamara to whakatai up, box out her defender. Basically just means holding a space and not letting her defender get in a good position to get hands on the disc. Yeah, Hoffman there. Good bid, but McNamara had all the space and was able to bring that down for a nice easy score. Carter and McNamara have been playing together for a couple years now. They're pretty good friends. So we'll look forward to seeing that connection on field as the game continues. Definitely something Hutt Valley should look to shut down.
We've certainly seen in other games with players who have played together a lot, not necessarily just within their school teams, but other teams could have been started at primary school or going through. They almost have a sense, an awareness of where that player will normally go, where to expect them to cut. And that really helps with the options you know that you've got to throw.
Yeah, of course. Just builds that kind of chemistry where it's this unspoken communication. Dungy cutting deep. Disc has a bit too much spice on it, that downward coming effect, but a great look there. Hutt Valley definitely threatening those deep throws. Glendale again. Takapuna now on offense. Looking to try and go upwind. Carter with the ankle breaking cuts. Can't quite get free. Sweetman just getting caught out by the upwind there. Hutt Valley now looking to convert right on the end zone line. Nice cut inside there. Great score from Hutt Valley. Casey Hurley. What a cut. Yeah, just jinked a little inside and then came across for that high release. Glendale again. So reliable on the disc. Yeah, see Hurley come across. Nice and open.
It's almost as if I see possibly a little bit of settling with Hutt Valley, just being a little bit more comfortable maybe. You know, they've played a couple of games, 2 or 3, and just getting used to this. They're all year 10s apart from one. And this is one of the biggest games, I suppose, they've most probably ever played, these games that they're playing at this tournament.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Displaying a lot of experience despite some of them being only in their first year, and I think that is just credit to some of the coaches like Emma Doyle and Eva Langridge, both having represented New Zealand before in previous years. Claridge there with the pull. Carter, big backhand fake. Swings across to Madsen, to Gemma Leithley, I believe. Hutt Valley turns quickly and Carter to pick up. Another goal on offense. Not many cuts happening downfield. We know Carter has a cannon of an arm. Finds the easy under in Sarikaya. She's pointing downfield. She wants it. Hutt goes up. What a backhand around the mark. Great defense there by Turner to Whakataiapa, box out her player. Throwing into upwind though can be tricky, and there's a quick turn for Hutt Valley.
Right on the goal line, just looking for one person to be free.
All we need is patience here. Just try to jam it in. Just goes out of the hands of Sarikaya. Hutt Valley now to try work upwind, see if they can build on those connections. Turner with the disc.
You'll notice after a tuku like that and the disc goes to ground.
What a poach block from Carter.
Some players won't pick it up, and it may be the nearest player that's there. And that'll be, they're leaving it for a handler, aren't they? They're leaving it for someone who's more experienced possibly, or a better throwing. Because if whoever picks it up has to throw.
Exactly. The only person who can't score is the thrower. What a poach block there from Carter. Just reading the play beautifully for a quick convert. So handlers are the more reliable people on field. Your kōkiri, your handlers, they're the main throwers, and they're who you trust on the disc to put up those big shots like we see Carter and McNamara doing. Your downfield, your cutters who look to generate movement, initiate movement. They get the disc downfield and then they look to dump it back to a handler. Komori, dumping it back to handler basically resets the stall count, allows the disc to get into some safe hands while they go downfield and cut some more.
And if you're wondering why any player doesn't just pick it up, it's because this isn't as easy as just throwing a backhand with a frisbee that you may have done as when you're growing up. Is that we may have thrown the Maamuri, just the backhand, but you'll notice that on the koikori, when the handler's got the disc, quite often the defensive player is desperately trying to stop that backhand and forcing the handler to throw a mamua, the forehand.
Nice pāpakukume, low pull there from Carter, goes over halfway. Immense amount of pressure, forcing the Hutt to go up. Hoffman just can't quite get there, but Sarikaya was in the area, patrolling the deep space. Carter to pick up the disc. Takapuna running out of a vertical stack. Great cut there from Madsen Bruff. Looks like there's a call on the field, maybe on the mark. So when this happens, everyone on field has to stop moving, and whoever's on the disc, they have to talk about and resolve it. Carter looks up line. What a take from Sarikaya. Just floats over heads, but she has the presence of mind to bring it down safely. Big pressure. Carter can't quite get there. Turner's streaking deep. Comes back under for the show. The throw is a little short. Doesn't quite connect, but definitely threatening that long space. Especially in a downwind, those throws are going to go.
Even though it is a tuku, it's a turnover. Sometimes there is actually a strategy with that. If the stall count is getting higher and close to 10, and there's no cutter that's freely available, sometimes it is worth a hard few down the field just to gain position. Because particularly if you're throwing downwind, it puts the play down that end, and in this case it's worked out because you can force a turnover in that area of the field.
Holly Dungy throwing to Lucy Hoffman there. Nice easy score after the turn from Takapuna. But yeah, for sure, especially in a high stall situation, we call it sometimes huck and D. You just huck it downfield, throw as far as you can, and then get back on defense. It's a strategy that often works when you're going downwind and your opposition have to play offense going upwind. Because upwind is the harder place to go. The wind is like an 8th defender on field. So...
And playing upwind, you tend to have shorter throws, shorter fuse. So which means a higher number of throws, and therefore the higher chance of getting another tuku, another turnover.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where the wind just being that extra person on field almost has a big impact, and we often see some teams coming out with a zone or rohe, which is when you, instead of match marking where you mark person to person, you mark the space instead and try and force them to throw more throws to get around. It's often a strategy that works well in gusty conditions, but so far we've seen Hutt Valley and Takapuna both just sticking with a person-on-person defence. Holly Dungy with the pull. Sails over halfway and settles. Carter to pick up. She's got to play a streaking deep and she puts it long. Isla Sweetman. What a great cut. Just can't quite get there. Misreads the disc a little bit. In those downwind conditions, that disc is really going to fly, Mark.
Yes. We're playing to 15 today. We'll have as soon as one team hits 8, that'll trigger the half time. But there's a soft cap on that. Is that after 50 minutes? Do you want to explain a soft cap? See?
Yeah, for sure. A soft cap. Carter calls the timeout downfield. Bit of a long point. Both teams looking like they would like to have a break. So yeah, a soft cap is basically when time runs out. So this is a game to 50 minutes. The hooter goes. Basically, that's not the end of the game. If the score hasn't reached 15 by then, you play out the final point that you are playing. Or if the hooter goes while you're in a timeout, for example, or in between points, you play the next point, and then you add 1 to the highest score. So if the game ended right now, and Hutt Valley scored here, and the game was 6-5, the highest score would be 6 for Takapuna, and you'd add 1, so it'd be a game to 7, and be first to 7 points, and then in the style of tournament this is, you'd play until a team reached that.
Sometimes there's a hard cap which actually puts a limit right at the end.
So a hard cap, as opposed to a soft cap, basically means a hard ending to the game. So in some instances it could just be you complete the final throw and then the hard cap goes and basically that finishes the game. But we have a bit more liberty with this style of tournament down at secondary schools here in Taupo to play the soft cap and then just play out the remainder of the games for the last couple points. That's not to say that we have seen some brilliant comebacks from some teams in the past years. Seen teams come back from large deficits to make for a very tense finish to the game. The game is not over until it's over. Big cheer coming from Hutt Valley Huddle. They're fired up and they're on defense here, so let's see what they can do to change this. So after a timeout, the person who called the timeout, they have to stay holding the disc. So Carter, who called the timeout, is on the disc. Offense sets up, then defense sets up how they would like, and the disc is tapped in, as you can see there, and play starts. Hurley with a big mark on Carter. Moves the mark with a big backhand, looks for McNamara, can't quite hold on to it.
It was a good look and it was a good cut.
It was a great cut.
Yeah, just unfortunate. conditions.
Free player going under.
You can see by how many tukus there are that it is a little bit tough out there, conditions, and the defence is doing their job to make it even more difficult for the offensive team.
Exactly. Carter just looking for Madsen Bruff there. Can't quite find her. Cut goes up. And just slapped to the ground by Isla Sweetman. She's fired up.
You can hear that count.
Carter forced to go over the top. Looking for Madsen Bruff. The wind just pushes it down. Hutt Valley have a chance to go upwind here. Big fake. Looks for the inside. Taken down well by the Hutt Valley player there. Sweetman just gets a hand to the swing there and knocks it to the ground. But a great look and great flow coming from the Hutt Valley side. Carter again. Just such a reliable Kai Korkiri. Looks across. The defender misses. And it's punched in swiftly by Takapuna. What a bid there from the Hutt Valley player. Big fake from Carter. McIntosh can't quite get there. Bright snatches that out and then just quick pass off to Sweetman in the end zone. Takapuna going up 7-4.
Ai, Takapuna ke mua mate toru. Hutt Valley taking that opportunity. There's a lot of coaching. There's a lot of chatting to the team. What's working well? What we should be working on. It's a good learning environment, learning opportunity, even mid-game.
Yeah, absolutely. We see Glendale, Chapman, and Phillip there on the line for Hutt Valley. Glendale, we see being putting up some of those big shots for Hutt Valley, especially downwind. I think we're going to see a few roa from her, a few hucks from her coming out. She's certainly got the receivers on the line for her to go receive them, rip those down. Nice pull goes up, lands just past halfway, and we see a player straight away streaking deep. Phillip there with no mark. The disc goes up, just out the back. He called it mark. Glendale there with the big put upfield. So much strength on that throw that it goes out the back of the end zone. What a forehand. Just looking for Margot Claridge there.
Actually, there's a good backhand of the cameraman returning that disc there. Lucky out the back of the end zone. Goes through. Just about.
Takapuna on offense now. Bright on the disc. Looking for a continuation. Sees Briar Carter and swings the disc. McNamara on an open undercut. Looked off. Carter opts to go downfield to Bright. Looks for the continuation. Bounced off the hands of the defender.
As long as it doesn't touch the ground and your team ends up with it in your hands, you can retain possession.
Madsen Bruff looks for the up line. The disc sits there. There's people under it. And it's brought down by the Takapuna player. Bright there with the presence of mind to get under that disc. Looking for the continuation. Disc floats again. It's up. Chapman just smacking it to the floor. We see a player down deep. Disc goes up. What a look there from Glendale. Just looking for Bianca Phillip in the deep space. Takapuna looking to work upwind now. Carter. Big forehand fake. Disc goes up. Blades around. Just out of the hands of Bright. She did well to read that disc and get under it and recognize which way the wind was pushing it. Glendale again. Those big forehand fakes. Trying to move the mark. Puts the disc up. There's a free player in the end zone. Oh, and it's just out the back. See players on the sideline signaling that the disc was out of bounds. Nonetheless, what a great take there from Bianca Phillip, recognising that her defender was poached off.
Oh, so close.
D there from Hutt Valley.
Notice we've got the two handlers in line. Up
Glendale
near-
just
near the
pointing
disc.
where
Oh.
she wants it. She puts it up again. Once again, it's out the back. She is too strong. She needs a bigger field, Mark.
We'll mention that both teams using a vertical stack. So you'll see the two handlers in a row across the field at the top, and the rest of the players in a vertical stack down there, and each one will take their turn to kuti and time. They'll cut maybe out the back. There we go. Out the back is headed further down the field.
Nice cut there from McNamara.
And
Coming
bringing it
under.
all the way back up. Chase.
Gets it on the second attempt.
Yeah.
Bright there. Brings it down.
It's a nice floaty few just hung in the air there.
Nothing's happening downfield. She puts the disc up, but just gets taken by the wind. Carter, recognising where that was going and getting under it. McNamara on that undercut. Carter puts it up. Comes back. McNamara almost gets a hand on it. And Hutt Valley convert again. Hutt Valley 5, Takapuna 7. It's just that Arai Pehi from that defensive pressure from Hutt Valley, making it difficult for Takapuna to really go upwind and connect those small passes together. See Carter there. She can't catch her own throw, unfortunately. But she does well to get in front and try and stop that throw. But Hutt Valley, calm on the disc, convert quickly for a quick score.
And that's the problem, difficulty sometimes, is that when the players go to and they're looking for a pass, the defender is working hard to stop that pass. And quite often it forces the thrower to throw a Mahmoudi or a Mamua, a forehand or a backhand, in a slightly different angle or position than what they would do if there was no defender there.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
and if it lifts and catches that wind, that's what we're seeing a little bit. So it's much more an indication of good defence.
Absolutely. Especially going upwind, you really want to release the disc paku, low to the ground, especially because the wind pushes it up. So if you release it low, the wind will push it up and it will hold. But if you release it too high, you can often show the underside of the disc to the wind, and that's where it all goes wrong. The wind just takes that, and we've seen there the disc goes up and comes straight back down. Big upwind.
Would Teddy help? Would speed help? Not necessarily in speed going forward, but rotation of the disc.
Yeah, spin. Speed in terms of spin on the disc definitely helps hold it in the air, but also keeping that nose down. Takapuna going downward now. Carter on the disc. Will we see a big field over from her? Looks like there's a call on the mark. No stoppage though. As called, a big Hutt goes up.
High forehand release.
Looking for Sweetman again. That Carter-Sweetman connection. Sweetman just a workhorse cutter in that downfield.
That high Mamua. It was nice. So much harder for the defender to get a hand to that too.
Exactly. It's changing the angles of attack. Dungy swings across to Turner. Puts up the forehand. Just goes in between both players. Can't quite connect. Carter to bring it in on the sideline. Big Hutt goes up. Fortunately, just fades out of bounds. Sweetman again, just getting free in that deep space.
Bringing it back to where the disc went out.
Go, not too close to the side stick.
That'll be Matai Korpai, disc in.
Nice defense here from Takapuna. Finding Turner with the swing.
Nice, Rosie.
just through the hands of Rosie Dungy. What a great undercut there, just finding so much space. Fortunately, just quite can't hold on to it. Carter now, another big disc up the line. And who's she looking for again? She's looking for Isla Sweetman. Clearly, she has her favourite receivers. And Sweetman just keeps getting free in that deep space, so I don't blame her for looking for those big shots. Dungy on the disc. Big fakes. Nice up line cut there. Looking upfield. And taken down by Hoffman. Disc goes up. Nice whakatai upper there from Emmy Bright, I believe. Just boxing out her defender and have a good position. Carter again, looking for Sweetman in the end zone. Will it come off? It doesn't this time. She opts for the forehand this time. Hutt Valley back on offense. Holly Dungy to bring the disc in. Fakes the forehand, the backhand, and puts the forehand up. Take it once, and it tipped into the hands of number 13, Bull there. Great awareness to bring that down. Puts the backhand up. Hoffman looks upfield. Touched off the hands of Carter, and Hoffman almost gets it back. The tenacity of these players, never giving up. Huge fakes there from Carter. What an amazing mark there. The disc goes up. Big huck. High stall situation. Nothing really happening downfield. We talked about that idea of a huck and D mark where you just want to put it downfield.
Yeah, moves the play
Gains
down
territory and working it upwind all the way upfield is pretty hard. Glendale on the disc. A powerful thrower as we've seen.
It was a good few. It was a good look. Good throw.
Absolutely. Just through the hands there of the player, the Hutt Valley player.
If you're watching at home, don't do it, and quite often when we're watching a game, it's so easy to focus on just where the disc is. But have a look at some of the movement that the team is doing on defense and on offense. The cuts that they're making to try and get
those
free.
Those connections from Hutt Valley. Just what you were saying, Mark. Oh, ripped down there. Safe hands from Hurley. What great flow there. And just like you were saying, Mark, the positioning of those players downfield to present another option as soon as the disc is caught creates for great flow and makes it hard for the defense to stay on top of them. Carter, big forehand fake. Puts the disc up, looking for Sweetman. She's in the area. Carter, a great thrower in her own right. Definitely threatening the deep space. But that defensive pressure on the mark from the Hutt Valley player just getting in the way. What an undercut there from Phillips.
Nice and clear.
Came all the way from the back of the stack. Up line. Doesn't quite come down.
I think they may have a...
No call on field. Great spirit between the teams, making sure each other's all right before picking the disc up and going. Carter looks upfield again. Great presence of mind there from Hurley. See that last minute, turn around and slap it to the turf. Nice cut. Throw there to Glendale. Looks up line. Hurley throws it up line again. That defensive pressure there. Arai Pehi from Takapuna just getting in the way. Forcing a misthrow there. Carter again. Looks for the big. Over the top. Madsen Bruff's there. I think Glendale and Carter need to play on a bigger field here, Mark. They're putting throws. They're putting amazing throws up that are just going out the back. They're too strong.
Or take a few steps back.
Exactly.
Before they put the few.
We see a bit of poaching going on downfield. Just goes a hand and it comes off for Takapuna. This goes up. Oh, just out of the hands there from Madsen Bruff, but a great cut and great communication on defense between her and Carter. See them switching on defense. Madsen Bruff is just sort of hanging out in the lane, and it pays off. She just gets the block.
Come on, Margot, big arms, Margot, big arms, Margot.
What an active mark there from Claridge. Oh, what a great sequence there. Jade Sorokaya on the undercut, looking upfield, can't quite connect, but just out of the hands. Not enough field to work with. Glendale, they know she's a threatening thrower. Looks upline. Hurley just can't quite pull it in. Takapuna now have an opportunity. Look at that active mark from Margot Claridge, making it difficult for Carter to throw anything. Sorokaya, yeah, just an unfortunate drop. Looking deep. Carter pulls it in. And she puts a big one up. Looking for Sweetman again. Phillip there. Just gets in the way. Nice upwind forehand. Looking across field. Looking again. Swings across. Just a quick shout out to the man on the bicycle in the back there, Troy Stevenson. Doing a lot of volunteer work at the tournament. Great frisbee player in his own right. He's been in a few high competitive situations himself.
Oh, you, Holly, hold that space, hold that space.
Sorokaya on the disc. Looking for Carter.
Actually, it's quite impressive to see the number of New Zealand reps or current or past who are here coaching teams, who are volunteering to run the tournament. It's brilliant. And it is a sport that people are so keen to give back to.
Oh, exactly. The sport would be nowhere without volunteers and players who are willing to help develop the sport. Like Stevenson and Ian Stewart, special shout out to him for all the work. Carter putting up a big huck. Oh, last second touch there from Hutt Valley. Glendale getting huge.
Yeah, Ian was the Kai Whakahaere Kaupapa, the event organiser. He's pretty much organised this tournament single-handedly.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he lives and breathes Ultimate.
He gives so much back to the sport. He's actually the coach of the under-20 girls team. He has been for many years. Carter looking deep again. It's holding up. Sorry, Kaya can't just can't get there. But yeah, Ian Stewart has put in a whole bunch of work, volunteering. He's coaching Selwyn teams. He's putting leagues together up in Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland. Just giving back to the sport, and that's something that's so great about frisbee is that it's just a whole community, from international level down to high school and intermediate school level. Carter again.
I could, and one of the reasons you'll find that Troy Stevenson is on his bike, because we've had the national championships played in Christchurch last, and you'll see a lot of our top players. If you see someone limping or hobbling around the field, it's because they're still sore from last weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hits the bike, and it does point out just how fit you have to be to play this game. Absolutely.
There's a lot of demand on the body. Carter again looking deep, and this time hits Sweetman in the hands. Just can't quite get it. I believe, I have full faith that connection will pay off. We heard the hooter go that 50-minute soft cap has been reached, so this point will play out. The score of this point, we'll see +1 to the score. Big forehand fake from Carter. Looks across the stack with the backhand. Oh. What a shot there from Carter. Crichton just can't get there.
Let's go, Holly.
You may see in the open rolling subs that we are allowed in this tournament. For a player to sub, they have to go to halfway and high-five their replacement coming off the bench. Because there are players, as I said, the fitness. You've got players who are full out sprinting to try and lose their defensive player and take them up the field and then bring them all the way back again. And it is exhausting doing that for 50 minutes.
Absolutely.
And then do it game
Harder
after
again.
game over these next two. There could be...
Big Hutt goes up. Oh, finds
nice.
Sweetman in the end zone. I called it, Mark. You see that Carter to Sweetman. Carter, a great thrower, especially with that high release forehand going over the stack. Sweetman finally connecting, getting that. See her just hang out deep. Carter with the vision. Glendale gets a hand to it, but it's not enough.
Watch this come out. Fake the backhand. Uphand, forehand release. The deflection still got it.
Sweetman,
Beautiful.
safe hands. And what we say, a clap catch is the best catch. 2 hands is better than 1 hand. Sweetman with the safe hands. Glendale just getting huge, but not quite there. Sweetman with the deflection. So we'll see a game to 9 now, Mark. Soft cap's gone. So.
Yep.
Looks like we have we reached 8 points, so teams
triggered the halftime.
Halftime is gone, but soft cap is also gone, so a well-deserved rest for these teams, taking a few extra minutes. A good time to go over some strategy and in that Hutt Valley huddle, really just think about what kind of defense they're going to throw down on Takapuna and get themselves back in this game. We'll just go to a quick break now while these teams discuss their own strategies.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per litre fuel discount at your local Caltex with Pumped every day. Ah, feels good, eh? Get it at any participating Caltex.
Having this funding, being able to use it specifically targeting sport and to promote sport in schools is hugely beneficial.
Sport's huge in our community. If you have a look at our wall in there, we get a lot of New Zealand sports reps come out of the area, so it's really important they have that outlet to come to kura for another reason other than curriculum, and for some reason in our water our kids just breathe sport, and having that resource here makes life that much more enjoyable and they can keep doing what they're good at.
There's so much learning that you can achieve through sport, whether that's your relationships, your mental, physical well-being.
I just want to thank New Zealand Carbon Farming for, first of all, taking the initiative and supporting schools like ours.
It's nice to know that what's happening out on our farms is going to come back to our rural communities and be spent on the students here at Kilpil College.
This isn't about cameras. It's about getting a better shot, so you can get a better result. A great photo of your property is more important than a picture of our agent.
A big thank you to Apollo Projects for providing the funding.
It's really helped our kids to have more opportunities.
Gaining the extra funding really goes a long way to providing opportunities.
We are low on the socioeconomic index, so our students haven't got $200 when we're going away for these trips.
Students often miss out on opportunities because of the financial commitment.
More often than not, the student has to give up their sport.
With the funding from Apollo Projects, we've been able to lower travel costs to allow more students to participate in secondary school competitions.
Your generosity has enabled us to enable these students to be able to play in these.
And we are back after that timeout, seeing a kume come out from Takapuna. So both schools cheering and getting hype in their circles. And a big throw straight away from Glendale. What an arm she has.
Takapuna left to work it upwind again.
Have a chance to take the game here. Big arms there. Glendale looking deep again. Carter reads it well and intercepts it. Oh, she wants the big mark. Emily McNamara on a great undercut. Gets it on the end zone line. Nice cut there. Bright looking for Carter. Finds her up the line and a big throw goes up from Carter looking for McNamara. And it's just through the hands. What a put from Carter, looking upwind. McNamara with great positioning. And Glendale puts up a shot of her own. Looking for the Hutt Valley player. Hands on head, it's just through the hands.
And it's tough receiving a pass that high.
Yeah. Hutt Valley nonetheless with a quick turn. Glendale on the disc. Looking for their round shot. McNamara gets a hand on it, but Dungey brings it down. Nice up the line. Big backhand fake. Not many options. Finds Dungey. Threads it through. Oh, just through the hands of McIntosh there. Great positioning in the back of the end zone. That downwind showing that forehand and a bit of a laser. It's hard to catch those throws when they're so fast.
It's always that balance when you're throwing. Like some of the big passes, you want to float them because it'll give your receiver time to balance, to read it, to get into position. But it also gives the time for the defense to catch up. And suddenly, instead of a free pass, you're competing with someone for it.
Absolutely. Big active mark there. Carter has no choice but to put up the big shot.
Or if it's up there too long, the wind catches it and takes it somewhere totally
Exactly.
somewhere else.
Glendale looking big again. Carter has it well covered. Doesn't give the offense an opportunity to get there.
Putting up some big fuse at
Disc
the moment.
goes up. Madsen Bruff brings it down. Big fakes on the mark. Puts the disc up. Safe hands from McNamara despite the disc blading over. She's a lefty thrower. Throws across a nice forehand. Swings it to Carter. Disc has gone up. There's people under it. Who can get there? And it is Tess Glendale. And she puts up another huge forehand. Carter's there. Oh, through the hands of McIntosh again. But there's great positioning from those two players, Claridge and McIntosh. A huge gainer there to McNamara. Big fakes. Glendale getting aggressive on the mark. Looks for Carter.
Nice
Claridge with an
defense.
early bid. Sometimes that's all you need. That Arai Pehi. Pressure on defense. Glendale looking for that front quarter. And an easy score to Claridge. Margot Claridge. Safe hands at the front corner of the end zone. And look, just a little stutter step. Turns the back of her defender. And then just beats her to the front corner for an easy score. Bit of fatigue maybe showing there in the defense after a long point. Carter especially, what a workhorse on that Takapuna line. She's certainly put in a big shift for Takapuna Grammar. What a great cut there from Claire. She comes from a frisbee playing family herself. Blows a kiss to the camera. Older sister, fondly known as Gabe, played on my team actually, Misfits, at the recent New Zealand Ultimate Championships in Christchurch. So she's got a bit of that frisbee blood coming through. Good to see the younger players and families and whānau getting their siblings involved as well.
Actually, it's an advantage to have an older brother or sister who's playing. In terms of that skill coaching, even just the practice. Because we'll see here, and even through a whole game, if you're not a handler and you may only get 5-10 views in a game, whether they're short or long, but with a brother or sister or a parent who's willing to say, do you want to come down and do some throws down at the park or down at the beach, 15 minutes, you're suddenly throwing 200 throws.
Absolutely.
And that constant practice of building on your forehands, your backhands, your mamuri or mamuas, it's an invaluable practice, isn't
Absolutely.
it? Because then when times like this come and you've got a defender trying to force you onto your forehand and playing really hard D, you've got that confidence that you can throw that strong forehand.
Exactly. It's just repetitions, and I've heard the saying, practice makes perfect. Well, it doesn't make perfect, but it does make improvement. Big pull there, goes up from Hutt Valley. Carter to pick up. Immediately puts up a Furoa. Almost taken down by McNamara. Great spirit between those two, just apologising and making sure each other are okay. Look at this disc from Carter.
Nice, Maya, good D.
Just see Madsen Bruff just put up a big D. Carter, what a veteran move, calling a timeout. Just giving the team, Takapuna here, only a few metres away from taking this game and winning this game. It's a game to 9. So Carter just, veteran move, calling a timeout, getting them to reset, set up a good play, maybe look for an isolation cutter in the end zone. And what that is you basically just have eyes for one person, maybe your best cutter. So we might see McNamara or maybe even Sweetman out there who Carter likes to throw to see if they can get an easy goal.
Both coaches deep in conversation.
But Hutt Valley not relenting despite Takapuna Kei Mua Māterua up by 2 at the moment, but there's certainly no giving up from the Hutt Valley girls coming from Pōneke from Wellington. So Mark, if you're in this Takapuna huddle right now, what kind of play do you think they're going to come out with? Seeing them with some strong cutters downfield and a big thrower in Carter.
Yeah, but I think at this part they just need the 1 point, and I wonder whether disc retention, so going short fuse. I know it's going to increase the number of passes that have been thrown, but they are cutting well and they're getting free. If they choose, take the time, take up to the 10 seconds or 9 seconds, and make those good options into passes. I think they just need that 1 more point.
Absolutely. Looks like they're setting up in a bit of a side stack here. Like I said, Mark, Sweetman and McNamara downfield, perhaps looking to get one of them striking across with a big kuti. McNamara takes off. Carter, the big fake, puts up the mamuri. The Mamua, apologies, the big forehand. Looking for McNamara. A great play there seen by Takapuna, the isolation cutters. Glendale, big forehand. Looking downfield for Claridge. Carter just whakatai up, boxing out the offender. Not getting her a chance to get to the disc. Sweetman on the disc downfield. Lots of pivoting. And Turner just comes through. Aggressive defense. So much pressure, and she's streaking. She's streaking to the sideline for a cut. And Hurley goes deep. What a cut that was from Hurley. Certainly gained Hutt Valley a lot of territory. Carter on the disc. Puts up that signature forehand. Finds Madsen Bruff downfield. Big fakes. Moving her mark. Puts up the bladey forehand, but just lands in the middle of the downfield receivers. Hutt Valley, again, just a long field to work with. My tai Kōpai. Disc in. Looking for Claridge. Safe hands. Throws the backhand across. Glendale brings it down. Takapuna forcing Mamua here, forcing forehand. McNamara on the mark. A strike cut from Glendale again. Goes up line. Puts the forehand up. Puts the Furoa up. Looking for Claridge, but unfortunately just blades out of bounds. What vision there from Glendale shows what a strong thrower, throwing upward and downward and not afraid to just put the disc up. So much trust in her defender's mark. Trusting them to just bring it down. Carter now.
There'll be some tired legs out there now. They've been
What a
going
cut there
67
from
minutes.
McNamara. Safe hands. Looks downfield. Aggressive mark. Finds Sweetman. Glendale getting active on the mark. Really putting pressure on the throw. Not much happening. The few pāpaka doesn't come off. The swing doesn't come off. And the disc goes up. Furoa goes up. The Hutt goes up. Doesn't connect. Hutt Valley on the verge of scoring upwind, but can't quite get there. But they're just unrelenting pressure at the moment, Mark. Making for a really exciting end to the game. Carter brings a disc in. Look at that active mark from Claridge. And immediately puts up the huge forehand. Hutt Valley now. Finding Glendale despite the great defensive pressure there. The Arai Pehi from Sweetman. Downfield to Claridge. Crichton on the mark. Sweetman again. So much pressure on the defense. Glendale looking downfield. And Madsen Bruff comes out of the stack for a poach block. Poach block, meaning that she wasn't actually marking the defender downfield, but she recognised where the play was going and came out. Carter to Sweetman, a great connection that we've seen developing all game. Just fails to find McNamara there, but straight up at the end on defence, the great defensive pressure. Sweetman, just a workhorse in that downfield, not giving up. She's keen to put this game to bed. Carter to pick up. Claridge on the mark. Waving those arms. The disc goes up. Who's under it?
That is so pretty, Briar.
We just heard downfield. Someone said, that is so pretty, Briar. And I have to say, Briar Carter coming out with those massive forehands over the top. They're not wrong. Really showing promise as a thrower and as a Kai Korkiri, a handler in that backspace. Just bobbled out of the hands of Hurley there. Takapuna with a short field to work with. Carter puts up the forehand. But Hutt Valley are not giving up. I think that is Phillip there with the D. Just gets in the way of that disc to McNamara.
It is incredible defence from both teams, isn't it?
Absolutely. Hurley rips that one down. What a cut. Ankle breaking cuts there from Glendale. Getting free. You know, Glendale has a big arm. Oh, what a take. Phillip never giving up on that disc. Puts a big forehand up. There's people under it, and Claridge rips it down. No mark at the moment. Glendale. And the disc goes up. Furoa going up there from Glendale. She has a big arm, looking for Hurley, but it just plays a little short. Bit of a gust of wind. Carter with her own massive flick in response. Glendale faking. Finds Hurley, who's free in the middle. Claridge, my apologies. Nice cut there from Glendale.
Free.
Hurley on a free undercut, looked off. Glendale wants the big. And that is an upwind break from Hutt Valley High, staying in the game. Claridge ripping that down. Glendale had eyes for the end zone.
Takapuna still on aim, but
it is still a game to 9.
Kemua mā te kotahi. Lead by 1.
Claridge ripping that down. Carter coming off her defender to get in there. What vision we see there from Glendale. What a throw. Great rip from Claridge.
Both coaches drawing on all their experience. You see the plays that they're adjusting to try and get their cutters free. Those cross cuts that Takapuna were running across the baseline was quite different to what they were running before.
Oh yeah, exactly. And talking about that, those isolation cutters in the end zone, Mark, trying to focus on just one or two players to use all the space. Hutt Valley, 5 on the line. Takapuna with last-minute advice from their coach. Takapuna having to work upwind now after that break from Hutt Valley. This is really turning into a really exciting game here, Mark.
Yeah.
McNamara, Sweetman, Carl, Sarakaya, Madsen-Bruff on the line for Takapuna. Glendale, Hoffman, Turner. Some reliable names on the line there for Hutt Valley. You see Chapman.
Takapuna taking their positions on the line. Hutt Valley ready. Looking forward. Hands will go up in a minute from both sides to signal they're ready, and the Kume will be sent downwind.
Got a hand. Glendale, massive rip. What a pull. Goes almost the length of the field. Caught by Madsen-Bruff. What a recovery there from Sarakaya.
Look at the energy in the Hutt Valley defense.
Look at them go. McNamara, aggressive fakes. Trying to move her defender. Turner getting super aggressive. Really shutting down any options. Looks downfield for Sweetman.
Nice
A reliable.
Nice mumble up the line.
Sweetman looking for a reset. Oh, what a take from McNamara. Sweetman with the few par pucker. Swings the disc, McNamara rips it down. That lefty backhand coming out. But just going past hands. Glendale picks up. Swings downfield to Phillip.
Unbelievable. We have a tied game.
What a comeback from Hutt Valley High. And we have another game to Universe Point here today. Hutt Valley never giving up with all their matching braids. What team spirit, really just a strong mental game. Glendale with a massive rip there. And Phillip just ripping that one down. What a fast break, never giving up. You see Phillip went to pick up the disc and Glendale said, no, you go, I'll throw.
It really is a tuking atata. It's you can't get tighter than 8-all, game to 9. Next goal wins.
So again, Universe Point, next goal wins. Hutt Valley have the harder field here, having to work upwind, but they've shown us that they can do it. So maybe we'll see them do it again. Takapuna going to be working downwind, receiving the pull. Can they convert? They have good Nekihanga Kōpai, good disc movement. So let's see if they can use that to their advantage and put the game to bed. What an exciting finish we have here in Owen Delany Park in Taupo.
It's an awesome, awesome game. Whatever the result, both teams can take a lot away from this. And
absolutely.
Be very proud with how they've both offensively and defensively.
Absolutely. Hutt Valley really going to be looking to have a lot of Arai Pehi defensive pressure to really generate a turn and hopefully give them a short field to work with. We have hands up. The Kume is set to come up. Holly Dungey with a great pull, rolls over halfway. Carter to pick up. No doubt looking for Sweetman with that big forehand. And it goes up. What a put. Well read and slapped to the turf by the Hutt Valley defender. That's Phillip. Field Pāpaka. Nice swings. Slicing through the defence. Casey Hurley on the disc now.
Any movement, any cuts.
Looking for Claridge. Great hands over the top. Sweetman got a hand to it. But Claridge just managed to hold on. Another Field Pāpaka. The disc goes up. Oh, and it's a little short, but a great look there from Holly Dungey. What a take. Carter to Sweetman, that connection we've seen all game. Sweetman swings. Great hands from Emily. The lefty looking for a Mamuri. Holly Dungey with great pressure. Emily strikes up line. Sweetman doesn't throw it. Incredible Arai Pehi. Defensive pressure here from both from Hutt Valley. Field Pāpaka swings across. The continuation is there, and Brian Carter reins it in.
That's the game after nearly 78 minutes. Congratulations to Takapuna. 9-8, but as I said before, both teams an excellent display of ultimate.
Absolutely. What a great game there from Takapuna Grammar. But also Hutt Valley High. Really just so much defensive pressure, Arai Pehi, but also the Nikihanga Kopai disc movement, utilising everyone on field, fast breaks, just he tukinga tata tēnei.
That's it from us. We'll be back at 4:40 when Hutt Valley High will take on Selwyn College in the Open Division. Ka kite.
See you.
Whoops, running on empty? Enjoy a 6 cents per